So we had a podcast last week with Heather Hayes and the Orangeville Food Bank. And if you haven't had an opportunity to listen to it, I encourage you to stop now and go back and listen to that because truly all of us were moved by it. And people like Heather and all the volunteers are truly unseen heroes in this community. And one of my favorite songs is Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson. And the lyrics are powerful and they resonate with me. And certainly when I was listening to Heather speak, the question that I kept thinking over and over, what am I doing? Because Heather talked a lot about community and the importance of community and lifting your brothers and sisters up. And what am I doing? So when it comes to food insecurity, what changes have you made or are you making or intend to make in the future? Jess, what changes or what are you going to do in the future with regards to ending food security, insecurity?
Well, I just want to start by saying, like, the podcast, when we were talking with Heather, I think the one thing that, I mean, it was amazing just to hear her talk about all walks of life coming in. And I think the one thing that I really took out of that podcast was just ending the stigma. It's your neighbor, it's your community. You don't know who goes to the food bank, but there are real people in your community who go. And for me, as a small business owner in Dufferin County, one thing that we really try to do is give back to the community whenever we can. So one thing that we did last year and we're going to continue to do this year, instead of doing Christmas gifts at the end of the year for our clients and for any of our employees, we donate a portion of whatever we make during the year back to local nonprofits, Orangeville Food Bank being one of them, just because I think it is so important to give whenever you can. I'm definitely blessed enough that I can offer that. And I think as any business owner, there's benefits to giving back in a monetary donation to local organizations, especially when it comes to taxes and all of that. But also to give when you can is definitely something that's really important to me. So that is something that we do, and I will continue to do as long as I can.
That's awesome. Dave, how about you?
I hate tooting my own horn, but one thing that we decided as a family is we're kind of focusing on our community. So at one point we were supporting an international organization. Some things changed. We took those funds and, like, without even thinking, just changed where they were going to the local food bank. So we're doing a monthly donation like that. But grocery shopping is just kind of in our heads. Hey, well, you're like, pick up a couple things, and that's just what we do. So it's kind of become automatic. Just as much as we would shop for ourselves, we're picking up some other things here and there. And I mean, being part of the Compass Run for Food for me has been huge and important, because there's some things that it's more than just picking up some from the grocery store or a monthly donation. And I feel like the money that we're able to donate, it's significant. Like, it's not $100, and every $100 is vitally important that goes to the food bank. But when we're talking, over $250,000 over the last 7 years that have been donated to local food banks and breakfast programs, our community, those are like organizational altering figures. And I'm super humbled to be part of that kind of process. And I think if people here are more on the food side of our podcast, you can join the Compass Run for Food. You can run anywhere you want. Shameless plug. I'm totally going to do that. Link below in the description. So you can do that. Sign up. If it's not our food bank, you can help your local food bank. Partner with organizations that make those kinds of choices. And I think the way that the world has made some changes is there's a lot more transparency of what organizations are doing. And businesses. And if you have an opportunity to buy product A, B, and C from whatever organization, or you can buy from somewhere else and they support local initiatives. Start doing your research. Those are kinds of things that can make a big difference in your community, and it's stuff that you're going to spend anyways. So if you're looking for social media, you can look at Green Monkey. I mean, you know that they're willing to work with their community, and the funds go in and out to a nice organization. So
I have to agree. And I'm uncomfortable in sharing this as well because I don't like advertising these things, but sometimes you have to. And sometimes you have to talk about stuff that you do so other people can say, hey, you do it too. We do donate to the food bank through Canada Helps, and it's super easy to do. You just type in www.canadahelps. I think it's ca, and you donate, and it just comes out of your bank account every month, or you can do like a one-time donation or whatever. We donate monthly because it's there, and then I kind of forget about it, which is bad for me, because it's something that it should be more in the forefront of my mind, but then I get a tax receipt at the end. So that's super easy to do, and I don't even think about it. But in talking to Heather's, with Heather last week, and I am a political junkie, and I do have a sign on my front lawn, because I believe that politics, I vote. So because I vote, I can complain, or I can, trumpet as well what the parties do. But go to your MP. And Heather's going to send us, or just with her magic fingers, has included some election information. Contact your MP and say, hey, what is your party doing about food insecurity? How is food insecurity a priority in your platform? What about housing? What about things that are so important so that people can have dignity? And we joked about it, but in truth, we all said we want Heather and all food banks, we want them to lose their job, not to lose their jobs, they don't have a viable income, but to end food insecurity so that I don't have to worry about my neighbor as to whether or not they have enough food. So 2 things that I'm going to do: 1, continue my donations. And 2, I'm going to write my MP and ask them, my elected MP, but I'm also going to ask all of those representatives from the parties and say, hey, what are you doing? Like, why is this not on your platform? Why haven't I heard talking about food insecurity on your campaign? When this airs, we have 3 weeks to make a decision, make a wise decision, so that the community can benefit.
Mm-hmm.
So, wow. Again, I'm going to reiterate, if you haven't heard last week's podcast, please do. So until next time,
we'll talk food.
And we'll talk fitness.
And we'll do it together.
Thank you for watching and listening to this week's episode of the Food and Fitness Podcast. Join us next week when we sit down and talk about Compass Run for Food, a COVID-safe, family-friendly run and walk to raise money for local food security in Dufferin County that you can run virtually starting October 2nd.